And we're live. Good evening. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to tonight's Masked Reseller. And welcome to Casper the Friendly Ghost, who is my guest for this evening. I've got some people in the chat, so I'll say a few quick hellos. Hopefully this won't take half the show like it usually does. So good evening to She's Always Flipping Mandy. Oh, to me, look, I'm in there. To Kay Gilson, Joan Morris, Deb Hughes. The other Joan is in with two Joans. Shiv, Jason Entwistle. People have just started coming, I think. Karin, everyone's asking it might be Lex, you never know. Laurel, Welsh Wonder, Nia, Aid Waldron, hi Aid, and Reselling Polly, that's Sam, Intelligent Zombie, and Susan Bad Wolf. Joan's saying it must be Lex. Why must it be Lex, Joan? What makes you think it must be Lex? Admittedly, she doesn't appear to be in the chat, so it could be Lex, you never know. But then Prince Harry's not in the chat either, it could be him. Do you think he resells? I bet he does. I bet he sells all Meghan's old frocks. Leanne Hill, C. Reeves UK. Karen says she thinks she knows, so she's not going to ask questions. Karen obviously recognised the shape of tonight's Masked Reseller's head. And Daisy May, good evening, everybody. I hope you are well. I hope you are enjoying this unseasonable weather. I'm starting to formulate a theory about the weather. Now, bear in mind, I'm not a scientist. So if this makes absolutely no sense and you are a scientist, feel free to message and go, look, you're an idiot. I reckon that the fact that the human race have stopped moving means there's less wind because we're not pushing air around. And because there's less wind, it's warmer. What do you reckon? Is that science? It could be science. It could just be me talking shit. Okay. We've got Claire Borden and Claire Riley. Nick and Andrea are in, and Nick says, is there actually someone under there? I hope so. Nick says they aren't moving. Perhaps they've died. Oh, they're moving now. There you go. The Master Reseller is now moving. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up. We've got a couple of questions on already. So Sam's in with the first question and says, are you a YouTuber? Yes, tonight's Master Reseller is a YouTuber. So there you go. It's not Sarah Resells, which I stung you all with the other week. You didn't see that one coming. Joan wants to know, do you live in Birmingham? Does anybody live in Birmingham apart from Steve? We've had Steve already. I mean, obviously people live in Birmingham. No, not in Birmingham. People do live in Birmingham, don't they? I just meant any of us. Claire Borden says, how am I feeling? I am much better. Thank you, Claire. I am almost human again now. Shiv says, question, are you a small person? It's all relative, isn't it, Shiv? It's all relative. No, not a small person. Okay. Joan says, are you a woman? Oh, and it's scrolled off. Let me just scroll back up and catch it. Yes. So tonight's Master Reseller is a lady. An actual lady, not a lady. Peter Cummings is in the vinegar jar, and he says it's me. It's not you, Peter. I would have warned you. Aid Waldron says he thinks it's Andrew Nolan's dog, Barty. I don't think anybody's dog could sit that still. Do you? Certainly Molly wouldn't be able to. Lainey says, hi, Carla, and what's your name again? I think she's trying to trip up the Master Reseller. Nice try, Lainey. Claire Plant says, good evening. Kelly's in. Lisa's in and says, is it Lex? Is it you, Lex? I mean, oh, oops. Is it Lex? Not, is it you, Lex? No, not Lex. There we go. Joan says Joan spotted a wedding ring. So there we go. It's either someone who's married or someone who's eaten so much during lockdown that the ring they used to wear on their little finger now won't fit, or the other way around. Stellit Banks says, question, is it Miss Lex out the boot Kale with the candlestick? Okay. Tracy Bookstore is asking you, are you male? But we've already asked if you are female, so we're going to assume that you are one or the other and not somewhere in the middle, although it's 2020, you do you. Susan says, do you live in England? Yes, yeah, Master Reseller lives in England. Joan's pointing out that Donna the Brummie lives in Birmingham. I didn't think of Donna, of course. Could easily be Donna under there. I mean, I should know, shouldn't I? Claire Border wants to know if you've got curly hair. Yes, curly hair. Jason wants to know if you own a shop. No shop. Okay. Sea Reef says they're going to be hot under there. Better make it fast. And Kelly says, do you have 100 acres? Who has 100 acres? Oh, Sam, of course. Sam has 100 acres, doesn't she? In her new house. Okay. Oh, where are we? Oh, it's scrolled off a bit. Sorry, scrolling back up. When it scrolls down, I'm always a bit worried that I might miss somebody actually making a correct guess and not given the credit. Intelligent Zombie regarding my science bit says it's possibly less pollution because we've stopped air travel and cars. That's pretty much what I said, isn't it? Or not? Kath wants to know what kind of wind we're talking about. Sam's coming in with a guess. She says, "Are you Kirsten?" No, not Kirsten. Laurel says, "Do you sell clothes?" Yes. And Joan says, "Are you pagan?" Oh, I've missed a question. Kelly says, "Have you dyed your hair today?" Not pagan. Oh, you have dyed your hair today. Okay. Shiv says, "Question, do you wear glasses?" Yes. And James Martin says, "Are you Andrea Hills?" Yes. Are you the very warm artist formerly known as Andrea Hills? Don't forget to unmute.
Yes, I'm unmuted. I didn't even think about rings.
Oh dear. Peter was going with Carla's cloned herself and she's also under the towel. Oh, Joan says she asked if your husband's name was Nick. I'm sorry, Joan, I didn't see that. I didn't see that one. Every now and again the chat shoots off and I miss stuff. Okay, Peter says she's really wrong. So Peter says he's really wrong. So I don't know who he thought you were. He's surprised that you are you. You are definitely you, aren't you?
I think I am, yes.
You're going to pull off your Andrea mask and reveal yourself as Rex underneath. How are you? You well?
Yes, I'm well, yes.
I didn't realise
I'm cooler now.
It's very nice. I thought that was your natural hair colour.
This, no. I'm sort of a brown colour, but...
I'm a bit of a... Well, I'm mostly grey, but if I wasn't mostly grey, I'd be sort of mouse.
I'm very silvery these days.
Yes, yeah, I'm a bit of a silver fox. Is that what? Can you be a silver fox, or is that men?
Don't know.
Is that just? Is it just
silver vixen?
Maybe I could be a silver vixen.
Yeah.
Nick wants to know if you're in the loft.
And where I normally am, just put a
yeah. Shiv says it was nearly Lex. Where is she? I don't know. She's not with us this evening.
No.
She won't be. She might be, on a Skype call to friends or whatever. She's doing a lot of online socializing with friends, and they're getting together and drinking and stuff. I don't know what website they're using for it, because I haven't investigated any of the new ones. Zoom and are you using those?
Zoom is good. Yeah, okay. We've used Zoom for family. I've used it for friends. Yeah, it's really good.
So, what are the benefits of that over something like StreamYard? Is it?
You can get more people on. For a start, I don't know, really.
Is it sort of more like video StreamYard? This being streaming, is it that kind of?
Can you use StreamYard where you're offline? I don't know.
Yeah, because offline. We have coffee morning chats, don't we?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah. Okay, I don't know, but yeah, you can get more people on. It's a bit like Google Hangouts in a way.
Yeah. Susan says she loves your eat more t-shirt. What are you suggesting we should eat more of?
Eat more veggies.
More veggies.
Yeah,
not vegan. Don't say eat more
veggies. A gift from Karen.
Karen's saying, can you stream Zoom onto YouTube? You're not asking me, Karen. I do nothing.
I don't know. I've not tried that.
James says you said you weren't vegan, Andrea. I don't remember reading that question. Are you vegan?
Oh, no.
I don't remember reading
that. I am vegan, but I don't remember that question.
Certainly is. I don't think I read out your question, James. So maybe you typed your question and then I read something else. I don't know. Certainly, Andrea would not have lied. That's not who she is. Certainly not about being vegan either.
No.
Would not deny it, would you?
Eat more veggies.
Eat more everything. That's a bad one. Eat more everything. That's me. Eat more everything. I was just saying to Andrea before we came live, I've gained 2 stone during lockdown and most of it's here. This is getting ridiculous. This is the shape I should be.
You'll have to walk around like that.
Okay, Laurel says you can stream to YouTube, but you have using Zoom, but you have to pay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Nick has a question for the Masked Reseller. Are you married to a very attractive man?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Whether he had a shave. Do you prefer him shaven or not shaven?
I don't think I've seen him clean shaven for a really long time, but that sort of, George Michael stubbly look, I quite like.
Yeah. I like the look of stubble. Bushy. It's just impractical, isn't it?
Yeah.
On me, I'm talking. Yeah, Karen's just saying it would solve our coffee morning problems if you could use Zoom. But
Lainey says, Carla's not married, Nick.
And Nick's saying you took too long to think about it.
I was doing that on purpose.
So how is every little thing? How are you coping generally? It's not supposed to be the mask lockdown chat, but even so, let's
Well, I think, yeah, generally all right. I mean, Monday to Friday is not much of a difference other than it feels weird to leave the house. But yeah, missing family and friends. It's got to that stage now where I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that person for ages and I really miss them.
It's a strange feeling that when you said it feels weird to leave the house, it's a strange kind of, I think I said on the stream before, it's almost a fugitive feeling. You're almost like, I mean, I keep expecting to be stopped and questioned.
Yeah, I watched your vlog from last week when you said that, you felt like you were doing wrong to be out.
Yeah. And I keep preparing my story for if I'm stopped and asked. I don't need to prepare my story because I'm not going out for anything I shouldn't be going out for. It's not like I'm actually going on a drugs run and I need to pretend I'm going for milk. I am actually going for milk. But I keep kind of like, right, if I'm stopped, I just say that I'm going for milk. And then I'm running on to, if I have to prove that I'm going for milk, then I've got my purse with me. So, and then if I have to prove I've been for milk, then I'll have the milk. So and then you're like, what are you doing? Calm down. Nobody's going to stop you. You're just going to go buy milk.
Yeah,
it's a very weird thing.
On our last walk that we did, a police car pulled up and we thought, oh no, he's going to stop and ask us where we're going or where we've been. Or he didn't. He just sat there.
Yes. Yeah, I was getting into my car earlier on and a police car came up the road and I was like, oh, they've come to stop me. You know what?
You've been out too many times this week, Carla.
Yeah. The thing is, I have actually been out most days. I've left the house in some way because things haven't coincided with other stuff. So I had to do parcels on Monday because that was a weekend's worth of parcels and they had to go.
Yeah.
But then I had an appointment yesterday I had to go to, and then I had to get Mum's shopping today, and then tomorrow I've got to take Mum shopping to her. So each of those things have been, and you kind of like, I should have tried to condense it more. I should have taken the parcels on the same day as the appointment, and oh dear, the guilt, the absolute guilt. Yeah. But apart from that, like you said, the ordinary day-to-day life, that's not really changing, is it? If you work from home anyway, then it's pretty much the same as I look really red in the face, don't I?
Don't know. It doesn't notice this end. But luckily, Nick and I are used to each other, so there are plenty of married couples together right now that want to kill each other.
Yeah, I think you guys have already used to being in the house most of the time together. That's not new. Whereas for anyone who is used to their partner leaving for most of the day and to looking forward to seeing them come home, it must be a bit of a shock to the system. Although
I've noticed Ellen's spending a lot more time in her room now than she ever used to. So she's obviously sick of us.
I'm harsh as it sounds, and I'm sure I will alienate half the population by saying this. At the moment, I'm a bit sick of Buddy. I love Buddy to bits. He's a lovely little dog, but he has his little issues. And his issues grate on me more now that I am with him all the damn time, So he barks at stuff that isn't happening because he's going a bit deaf.
Yeah.
So he barks just in case. And I've realised that the reason that doesn't bother me most of the time is because I'm upstairs. He's also following me around a lot more. I think he's puzzled as to why I'm here. He's like, what are you doing now? I'll come with you, Sean. I'm like, you're underfoot, mate. But I do love him. I wouldn't part with him for the world, but I do wish that his issues are becoming more issue-y.
Yeah. When Monty got older, he used to bark a lot as well, and he was deaf. That's it. I'm sure that he's going deaf, and that's what's causing it. Yeah, especially when you were like getting dinner ready, he'd just stand there and bark at me the whole time I was preparing dinner. I used to have to put him in the office and shut the door.
Intelligent Zombie says, is that why you've got that shirt on, to tell me to eat more veggies after last week's vlog?
Oh, it wasn't intentional.
I had some lettuce yesterday, Intelligent Zombie, all right? I had some lettuce because I thought I probably ought to put something that wasn't beige on my plate. Lainey says she said, I think for me, a lot of people I know have more understanding of when I was stuck in waiting for medical equipment, and they were like, how did you cope? But the thing is, you just do most of the time. Yeah, that's it. I think it's made you realise. I watched this is not as a reference to you specifically, Lenny, but I watched a program last night called Britain's Fattest People, and one of the ladies on there hadn't been out of the house for 10 years, and it made me think that for those people who have been shut in for so long and then have regained their freedom, this is like a double blow, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like a double blow. This is like, damn it, I've only just gone out. I've only just got out. You know? Yeah. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Foundry says, "Damn, nearly missed you. Is it Lex?" Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm Lex. I've got a mask on.
Karen says she hasn't left her garden since the 13th of March. She did have a small issue with Darren snoring, but she's over it now. Is Darren all right? And Susan wants me to do my Buddy impression. Is this my impression of Buddy when he's waiting to go out? He starts off like kind of like, and then he builds up. And he's like, and then when you're actually going out, it's like, you're like, what are you doing? You're gonna have a heart attack. That'll be what takes him. When he goes, he will have a heart attack and drop like a stone because he will have just got. I mean, what a way to go at the peak of your excitement, you know.
Oh,
I suppose he hasn't come up to find out what I was doing. To be honest, he might be in the garden with Aunt.
Yeah.
Oh, Margaret Stewart says about Zoom. It's about 100 people in one sitting on the free Zoom basic subscription. So you can have a reseller meetup, but it's only 40 minutes free. So every 40 minutes there could be a new reseller meetup. Oh. We could have a reseller meetup. That would be interesting.
A good idea, yeah.
Oh, Kath says she asked a young man to move off of a footbridge where he was doing stretching exercise because I wanted to cross with the dogs. He shouted at me. Oh, it scrolled off. He shouted at me that I was mental. I replied, 2 meters and stop being so selfish. Fair play to you, Kath. You tell him. Yeah. Karen says Monty barks at other dogs 3 streets away. Oh, Shiv's got a question for you. She says, Andrea, what new games are you playing in lockdown?
Haven't really had any time to play games.
It's funny where the time goes, isn't it? I must admit, I'm like, how is it Wednesday already?
Yeah, like I was saying that Monday to Friday was still like, you know, it's just normal work days. So there's no particular extra time in that. And we've still got a massive backlog. So it's not like we're rationing our stock and got a bit more free time. So that's all still the same. And then, I don't know, just hanging out at weekends.
Makes you really grateful you haven't got to do school as well. I feel feel for like Becca and whatever, you know, when she's not only trying to still be a full-time reseller, but suddenly she's a full-time teacher as well.
I know. I'm so thankful for that. God.
Nick says he's going to go that way too at the peak of his excitement. Something for you to look forward to, Andrea. Although maybe he means he's just going to run around the house going,
maybe. No, what it'll be is he'll sell like another Atari cart.
Yeah. It's a new car. Lenny says it actually hasn't been too bad. She tries not to think about it, and when she needs to, she goes around the block to exercise her hand. Karen says she was quite poorly in 2014, hardly left the house for over 6 months. That was hard, but at least she'd get her shopping delivered. That's the bit she's hating. You just give Darren a list, Karen, a specific list. Or get him to ring you when he's in if he's not sure if he's getting the right thing, get him to video call you in the supermarket and hold it up.
Yeah.
She said the problem with Darren going shopping is he's buying just snacks and no food.
Yeah, I don't know if Karen's tried going on at midnight because that I managed to get a slot. Well, click and collect slot, but I managed to get a slot at midnight. Because I think they release them at midnight, don't they?
See, I've never done online supermarket shopping. I've never done home delivery shopping. I tried with Asda years ago, and the first lot came, and there was so many substitutions and so many missing things, and I was so frustrated by it. I was like, this is not easier. It's you know, when you do your first one, it takes forever anyway, doesn't it? And I was like, this took me about 4 times as long as going to the supermarket would have taken, and it's all shit. So I lost my temper and didn't do it again. Lex says she's got her dress on, but she hasn't got any gin. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got my my questions that I need to ask you before we've been here 3 hours and I haven't actually got any questions. So I know you've watched some of the previous ones, so you'll be expecting these. Have you brushed up on your answers? Have you
No,
no,
I haven't actually.
Okay.
I did think about it when you asked other people.
You can be another reseller for the day. This includes interacting with their family in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you choose? By the way, while you are being them, they are being you.
Oh. I thought I had an answer for this, but
You can't choose Nick, by the way. That's cheating.
Was that the same question that you asked Darren, and Darren said he would be Nick?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably have to be Darren then we could swap.
Yeah. See, I could be Darren. I could spend the day with Phoebe. That'd be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoebe's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, obviously that means Darren's here being you and bonking Nick, but you know that's their issue. They can do whatever suits them. Okay. Your fairy tap mother visits you and offers you 3 highly sought after reselling items.
Oh.
But for each one you accept, you have to hand over 100 items of your current stock, and you don't get to choose what goes. Would you do it?
No.
No?
No.
See, I looked at my stock and I was like, there's nothing here that I like. They can have the lot.
Yeah, I always get really emotionally invested in what I buy.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hi, Anthony.
Yeah.
See, I start that way, but then it hangs around for a while and I stop loving it. If also, like we've said before, if I don't list it quick enough, I stop loving it really quick. So even if I source it myself, if I don't list it within a couple of weeks, by the time I get around to listing, I'm looking at it going, this is rubbish. Why have I bought this? This is horrible. So you wouldn't do it, not even if it was 3 of whatever that game was.
Oh, when you put it like that, yeah, probably Nick would convince me to. So I'd have to change my mind there then. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick would be like, yeah, give it a ball.
Yeah, he would. He'd be like, what are you doing?
Okay, let me. I've scrolled off me thing. Where is it? Okay. You and I are stranded on a desert island.
Mm-hmm.
You know you've heard this one. It's a completely bare island. There's one palm tree, but no coconuts. Do you eat me? And if so, when?
I don't eat you.
You don't eat me? Oh, of course, because you're vegan.
I definitely don't eat you. I couldn't kill you. I'd probably just wait. Hopefully you wouldn't kill me. I'd just wait until I starved to death and then you could eat me.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if vegans can eat palm leaves.
Maybe. I'm sure
if vegans can, then I can too. I'm not suggesting that you're built differently. I don't know if people can eat palm leaves.
I don't know. Give it a try.
I feel like as a vegan, you'd be more open to the idea than I would, because I'm already struggling with having to have lettuce. So
yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. I mean, you know,
me as a raft.
It would just kill me quicker, wouldn't it, if I can't eat them? So
yeah,
prolong the agony, the other way around.
Okay, you and I are charity shopping together. I find a highly valuable charity item that I don't know anything about, and I bring it to you and I show you and I say, Andrea, what do you think of this? Do you think I should buy this? It's only £1. Do you? And you know all about it, and you look at it and you go, oh my God, that's it. That's a very valuable Ujumi flip. Do you tell me to buy it, or do you say that it's worthless and tell me to put it back so that you can sneak back later and buy it yourself?
Yeah, I definitely tell you to buy it.
Would you? See, everybody's so nice. I'm not sure I would.
Yeah. I mean, there have been times when I've been in charity shops with Ellen, she's looking for vintage clothing and she finds some really good stuff. And I'm like, oh, man.
I could sell that.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrea's saying you should fold me into one of those inflatables and sail off together. So, yeah, Darren was going to use me as a raft. So, yeah. Yeah, Nick said I'd be safe with you because you're being a vegan. Karen would choose Nick to swap with because she wants to get her hands on those shelves. Oh. I think Nick keeps his shelves quite tidy. He's always having a bit of a tidy up on those shelves in the background, isn't he?
Yeah, it's not too bad in there right now.
Yeah, you want to be Josh, Karen. You need to be Josh. It was Josh's shelves that were upsetting you. Okay. Yeah, Intelligent Zombie says if we were shopping together, they would say, "Well, if you don't get it, I will." Which I've done that before. When I've been with somebody, they're going to go, "Shall I get this?" I'm like, "Well, if you're not going to, I will." But I would. So yeah, I've done that. Okay. What have I got left? Oh, you get the chance to clone yourself and have a carbon copy employee of yourself. Would you do it? They would have all of your plus points, but also all of your faults.
No, I'd drive myself mad.
Same here.
I really would.
I would fire me within minutes.
Yeah. No, I'm too slow. I procrastinate too much. Yeah. I don't know how Nick puts up with it, to be honest.
I would literally be saying to me, "Why are you downstairs, playing with your jigsaw when you haven't done any listing today?" I'd be a crap employee. Kelly says she missed most of the chat because her brother phoned. I'm sure it was worth it, Kelly. And yeah, Nick says no, 2 painfully slow listers would finish him off. Ooh. Shots fired. Are you a painfully slow lister?
He thinks I am, yeah. I just think I'm thorough.
So is it a bit of a rattle them off, a bit sharpish, and you're a bit more like, no, let's measure some stuff.
Yeah.
And do you find that you get more questions from buyers relating to the stuff that Nick has listed, where in your opinion he's cut corners, than you do relating to stuff that you've listed where you've been more thorough?
No, but we don't list the same stuff. So I think if you listed clothes, we probably would.
See, that would be interesting. You and Nick could each, if you could find some identical bits, then you and Nick could each list the same item in your 2 separate ways. You'd have to do it on 2 separate accounts, I suppose. Well, I don't know. Providing your title wasn't the same, you could have them on the same account, couldn't you?
Yeah, or just get him to list a load of clothes, and then I'll probably go behind him and adjust.
Tidy him up again. That's what Caroline did to some of mine for me once. I was like, I'd hit the bit of a slow sales point, and I was like, I don't know what's the matter with my listings, and sent Caroline my link, and she said, "Oh, I'll do some tweaks for you," which was very kind of her. And the stuff she tweaked did sell, but she tweaked my titles, which was obviously perfectly reasonable, except for the fact that I print my titles out and use them for my stock system. So when the items sold, I couldn't find them because the title no longer corresponded to the item on the bag. So it made life a little bit complicated for a little while. Yeah. I was like, this is definitely the same. And the thing is that I forgot that. So when the stuff was selling, I was like, I'm really puzzled. I can't find this dress. And this is definitely the same dress. And yet the title's completely different. Did I have 2 of these? What have I done? You really threw me. Yeah. It wasn't until I went and realised, because on the same ones that she tweaked the title, she tweaked the photographs. And she'd put some of them in that collage thing where you have, and that was when this is a Caroline one. That made it a lot easier. Okay, I've got, if you could choose a reseller superpower, what would it be?
To list a lot quicker.
Speed listing.
Yeah, definitely speed listing, but thorough speed listing.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I've said before, I would definitely want to be able to take photographs without taking, just blink at it or something. Just go click, click, click. Or to, I don't know, speed photograph. I hate this. It's my worst bit.
Yeah.
Photograph.
For it all to just crop itself and just, look lovely.
Half the time my foot's in a picture. If I take a picture of someone on the floor, you can almost guarantee me toes are in there. Kelly says I'm looking very Carol Baskin tonight. Is it the tiger print top? Is that what you mean? Or do I look like I've literally just murdered a husband? Is my murderous side showing? Dave says I'm late because of Royal Mail reasons. Are we playing Guess the Person? Yeah, and he's guessing that you might be the Flash.
Oh, yeah. I wish that would work. I could be the Flash, and then I could list just like that.
But that would be quite handy for the current supermarket situation as well, wouldn't it?
Oh,
because you wouldn't be close enough to anyone for it to be. Although the Flash would be really impatient waiting in the social distancing queue.
You wouldn't have to queue though, because nobody would notice. You'd be like, and somebody would go, "Oh, what was that?" And then you'd be out.
Yeah, so you could cheat. And this is where you find out, chat, that Andrea's not sweet and innocent after all. That she's a devious-minded person, and she's just been hiding it from you all this time. Oh, Nick wants the print cash superpower and cuts out the day job. That's not a reseller superpower. That's a criminal tendency. And you could do that. I mean, you just need to set up the right kind of printer, and you're laughing. Yeah. I was thinking of these 3D printers, and they print a plastic replica. Well, now the money's all plastic. How long before somebody decides they can 3D print their money?
Oh, well, you're giving them the idea now.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Karen says, imagine me and Andrea working together. We would just end up chatting about Disney and mugs and Disney Uggs.
Yeah, I'm making tea in Disney mugs.
Lainey's got a question for you. She wants to know, which celebrity would you want to play you in the story of your life, and who would you want to play Nick?
Oh, don't know. Well, that's a tricky one. I don't know.
See, if you choose someone really, really hot to play Nick, then you're not going to want anyone to play you, are you? You're going to want to take the role yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
No point choosing
do that.
Then letting some actress get off with him.
Can we get Johnny Depp in?
He's got a bit ropey.
Oh,
I
don't know.
I've always been a big Johnny Depp fan, but he's gone a bit.
No, I quite like the rough and ready look. You know, I am married to Nick.
I'm a bit stringy around the edges. He looks a bit like a dilapidated cheese string.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I still like him.
Dave wants to know if you've got spandex in your wardrobe. If you have Johnny Depp, then I think Winona Ryder has to play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
Isn't that the rules?
Quite like that. Yeah.
Or Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, yeah. I do like her. Nick does as well. So we'd both just be hanging out, you know, behind the cameras.
Being told to get off the set. Yeah, so Dave wanted to know if you have spandex in your wardrobe.
No, I think I should have sometimes, but I don't.
Wonder Woman costume.
Yeah, I can't wear any tight dresses anymore. Let's put it that way.
Joan Morris says, if you could be reincarnated as a famous singer, who would you be?
Oh.
And Nick says, I'm still here while you're talking about Johnny Depp.
Well, that's a tricky one as well.
Joan says Keanu Reeves has always been her favourite, and Darren's come up with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think Mariah Carey keeps springing to mind, but not for her lifestyle, just for her voice, because, you know, she's got an amazing voice. But yeah, I wouldn't want her lifestyle though.
I'd be Pink. I said last week I'd be Pink. I'm not cool enough to be Pink, but I wish I was. I really wish I was. And then today on Instagram, Pink is making soup for her local soup kitchen or food bank or, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool enough to make soup. If this is the level of cool that Pink is coming to, then I could meet at that level. I think I might be as cool as Pink soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an artist that I really like that she's got a cool lifestyle. She lives in Nashville. That's Lucy Silvis, but I don't know if anyone knows of her.
I haven't heard of her, no.
Yeah, she's British, but was born in New Zealand and now lives in Nashville. And she's, yeah.
And is it country music, or does it just happen to live in Nashville?
It's kind of poppy country, singer-songwriter type
sort
stuff.
Of like Taylor Swift started out before she went a bit too pop.
No, better than that.
Okay. Somebody, Intelligent Zombie says, if you could do any job in the world, what would it be?
I think if I could sing, I would want to be a singer in a band, probably, but not on my own. In a band and tour the world. That's what I'd like. Yeah. Dream. Would
you be a rock star, or would you be a kind of a
rock star? Yeah, definitely in a rock band.
Proper leather and slash t-shirts and
all that.
Sweat, all of that. Yeah.
All that.
Sweat.
Tattoos, the whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lisa J says, what would your perfect property be and where?
A perfect property.
I really want one of those beach places on stilts that are in the sea, wherever they are. I don't know where they are, but I want one.
Oh, yeah, but that would, you know, with global warming, that wouldn't last long, would it?
No, I'd probably get washed away. I'd probably end up on that desert island.
Somewhere in a lovely countryside with a beautifully eco-built, light, lots of windows house that was
Like one of those Grand Designs ones.
Yeah, like a self-sustaining thing, off-grid. Yeah, that'd be my perfect property.
See, I want something quite old. I like older properties, even though they're, they'd come with all the associated problems, wouldn't they? Like, no electrics and stuff. But I just think most modern builds don't appeal to me at all. I like, Miss Marple style country houses and things like that.
Yeah, they are beautiful. Yeah, I'd want something that I could like literally be off grid and have everything eco and just.
Yeah, there was what I said. There was an episode of Grand Designs once where they built a completely eco house. I don't build out of cardboard or something. I don't know what they made out of, but it was, it was really, really sustainable. Whatever it was interesting, but the look of it didn't appeal to me. It was like it looked like a project rather than a house. It looked like a year 10 science project rather than a home. Intelligent Zombie says, if you could reincarnate any famous person, not a famous person, because that limits the field somewhat, a famous person, who would you reincarnate?
Reincarnate as or reincarnate to?
I think you just bring in a famous dead person back, I think.
Oh, okay. This is very controversial because I believe in his innocence. But
I was going to say
Michael Jackson. It would be Michael Jackson because
I'd bring Michael Jackson back. I also believe in his innocence. Again, we're probably upset half the viewers and half the population. I believe that in his naivety, he threw money at the problem to make it go away because he couldn't cope with it and didn't realize or listen to the advice on the repercussions that paying people off would have. Probably somebody around him was saying, but if you pay people off, you'll look even more guilty. And I think he went, make it go away, la, 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 la. That's what I think. But
totally, then it just snowballed and people took advantage of it.
I've just formed the opinion that if you interfered with my child, there's no amount of money in the world that would shut me the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the moment they take money in exchange for silence, I think I believe you a lot less now, matey.
Yeah, so, especially when there was a criminal investigation, there was a criminal case against him at the same time on the first time. They dropped that as soon as they got their money. Why would you do that?
Yeah. So I would definitely bring Michael Jackson back. I think he was a massive loss to the music world.
Yeah.
And he had 3 small kids, and they're kind of adrift now. I know they've been looked after by the family, but I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Joan says, I am as cool as Pink. Thank you, Joan. Tell Pink that. She doesn't seem to know. For some reason, she and I not best friends. Can't imagine why. Chris Tyler has a question. Can Andrea do the cube?
I haven't tried.
I bought the 7 from you guys as a birthday gift and gave it to the recipient, and they have solved it already. So
wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, is there a solution in the box? And they wouldn't tell me. So maybe they cheated.
I've never been able to do the Rubik's Cube, but I did have like that flat one with the triangles on it. I had that, and I could do that when I was younger.
I had one with circles. I think it was called the Rubik's Magic.
Yeah.
And there were rings, like the Olympic rings.
Yeah, actually, it might have been the ring.
I had that one, and it was held together with wires, and I could do that one. Yeah. But the only way I ever managed to do the Rubik's Cube was by pulling it apart and rebuilding it. Because they used to come apart in the original ones. You could just literally break them apart and then put them back together again without trying not to pinch your thumbs at the same time. Nick says you can't have tattoos because you can't even handle having a flu jab.
Say that again.
You can't have tattoos. Apparently, you can't even handle having a flu jab.
I can handle having a flu jab perfectly well. Blood
you
test.
Get some of those tattoo sleeves like they had on Big Bang Theory. Do you remember that episode?
Yeah.
Get some of those. Yeah. You look great on stage in those.
Yeah. No, it's blood tests. It's the whole blood thing that I don't deal with.
Okay, scrolling back up because it shot down when I wasn't looking. Oh, Lex has got a horrible question for you. Either Orla Keeley, Kath Kidston, fries, peppermint creams, or Disney doesn't exist. Choose which one. Oh, you can't choose Disney. I mean, the repercussions of removing Disney from existence.
I think it would have to be all a Keely or a Kylie, or however you pronounce it.
I always say Keely. I don't know whether I've always said it.
Yeah, Disney would be top, then chocolate, and then Cath Kidston mugs. So yeah.
Poor old Orla, you didn't make the cut. Karen said she wants a French chateau, but not in France.
Yeah.
It's nice in France, Karen. It's lovely, honest.
Yeah, but they speak French over there.
They do. I mean, I speak it here, but not as well. Lenny says, if you could ask advice of any historical famous person, who would you choose? And I want to increase that by what advice would you ask?
Mm. Oh gosh.
That's a proper pickly one, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Any historical person.
Mm.
I don't know. It's too many.
Pretty much all of his advice is already available in printed form anyway, isn't it?
Probably a famous philosopher. I'd ask them for their advice on life. I don't know, Aristotle or someone.
See, I can never remember which of the famous philosophers were famous for which particular.
Yeah, that's what I struggled just then.
I can't even remember which one said Eureka. He wasn't a philosopher, was he? Was it? Or was it? Yeah, it was Archimedes. Did Archimedes do the Eureka in his bath?
You're asking me? I don't know.
I'll look it up afterwards. It'd be fine. Kelly says she wants the Eames house or Bilbo Baggins house. Oh, the little Hobbit house. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Hobbit hole. That'd be all right. Yeah, Joan says Michael was innocent. Dave says totally we love Michael. Dave says, is that doctor still in jail? And I assume he was, because I think he went in for manslaughter, didn't he? So I don't think
I haven't heard he came out, so I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave said he had a book on how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and it was page by page showing how to do the moves. I never cared enough to buy a book on the subject. You have to be quite obsessive about it to go, right, I'm right. I'm going to get a book. Amanda says Cathkis is nigh on gone, so you may as well pick them.
Why isn't it just put Johnny Depp Simples? What? Because Jane's asked. Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny Depp in which film? In which film is he the hottest?
Oh,
please don't say Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No, definitely not.
Because he's fucking weird in that one.
Transcendence, probably.
See, I liked the Pirates of the Caribbean look. I like men in makeup. Always had a bit of a thing about men in makeup. So, yeah,
that would probably be second.
Aid says if he could do this asking advice from a famous person, he'd ask Nick how he times his purchases. Intelligent Zombie wants to know if you could speak one language fluently, which one would you speak and why?
Can you choose English?
I was going to say you already speak fluent English and then you didn't. So,
probably French, because then I could speak French whenever I go to Euro Disney.
I mean, I don't know what the French is for one Disney mug, please, but it can't be very difficult, can it?
Yeah. And also, Ellen wants to work.
You need one, isn't it? You want 10 Disney mugs.
Ellen wants to work there, so I might be visiting a lot in the near future. So,
do they get free family passes? Do you think if they work there?
I think you might get some sort of reduction.
Should just sneak you in
the back door.
Lex is really going for the nasty questions tonight. She wants to know, what would you find more annoying, having a scratch on every CD you own, or a chip in every mug?
A chip in every mug.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it'd be the CD.
I very rarely play my CDs these days.
Yeah, I play CDs in the car, and when there's a scratch one, it drives me mad.
Yeah, plus we've got a CD repair machine in the office, so no.
I think that's cheating.
Yeah, can't repair a mug.
You can if you've got the bit you chipped off, but it's never quite the same.
No.
See, Lainey's saying she loved Johnny Depp in Crybaby. I've never seen Crybaby.
Do you know, I haven't either.
Never seen it, and apparently it's absolutely amazing. I should really find that. Darren says, question, do you and Nick always decide 50-50 what stock to buy, or has he ever surprised you with a pallet of cubes on the doorstep that you knew nothing about?
No, if he's got a deal that he's discussing with somebody, he'll bring me in and we'll talk about it, and we never buy anything without discussing it first. So no, he wouldn't.
So you don't just
surprise me with anything.
Discover that he spent 10 grand. That doesn't happen.
No, no, and if I had an absolutely huge problem with it, he wouldn't buy it. So
okay, Dave's determined to make you have an argument. He wants to know one thing that Nick does that annoys you.
He does like to think he's right all the time.
But he's a boy, so he's not. I mean, that's how that works. You can't be right all the time if you have a willy. That's how it works, boys.
Honestly, I'm waiting for the incoming comment here.
Basic science, that is. Yeah, Lady says we both baby.
I am right all the time.
You're not even right now. Hi, Victoria Plum, and hi, Steve. Karen says that she tells Darren she's buying stuff. He tells me don't do it, and she buys it anyway.
Oh,
it's a slippery slope, Karen. Slippery slope.
Yeah.
Kirsten says her husband bought their house/stroke business and then told her.
Oh wow,
that's a big one.
That's huge.
That's a biggie. Oh, I've got a live ka-ching. It's a massively live ka-ching. It's £2.
Oh, well, it's better than nothing.
£2. Well done, me. Oh, and a return request just to balance it, but just in case I got overexcited about the £2.
Yeah,
I've got a return request to go with it for a lot more than £2. So that's fabulous. Oh dear. Yeah. Any more questions? Oh, I've just got electric shock off my phone. Ooh. Don't do that again. I don't like it.
It was getting too excited about that £2.
You can't get to the point where you're scared to touch your phone, can you? What will I do with myself?
Maybe that's the answer, because you said you felt like you were endlessly scrolling in your.
Yeah, maybe that's what I haven't downloaded that Hold app. Maybe I don't need it. If my phone's just going to electrocute me every time I touch it. Oh, Nick has a question. He'd like to know what song reminds you of when you got together.
Yeah, that's easy. Well, I say that's easy. I remember the artist, but it was Air. What song was it, Nick? It was Air. But I can't remember the title of it. And he used to play that album all the time. But also Natalie and Brulia, Torn, because just before we got together, when we worked at Virgin together, he was so excited about this song coming out. I mean, like every week he'd be like, oh, the song is good. It's coming out soon. It's a really, really good song. You need to listen to it.
When it came out, did you hate it? Did you sit there really politely going,
No, I really like it. Lex says sexy boy. Yeah, they did do that one. Perhaps it is that one. He hasn't answered. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's sexy boy as well. Dave wants to know, would you prefer to swap the Tack Conservatory for the Tack Cave? Would you like to swap offices with Nick?
No, I like my office. It's warm and it's light, and yeah. No,
yeah, I mean, do you ever find that it's too warm? Do you ever sit in there going, okay, I'm dying?
Yeah. In the height of summer, I have to come and work in the living room because I can't bear to be in there. But Nick's office in the winter is like a refrigerator. It is absolutely freezing. So.
And does he still stay in there and work regardless, or does he come and work in the conservatory?
Yeah, he stays in there and works regardless. Just keeps his coat on.
John wants to know, would you rather be 2 foot taller or 2 foot shorter?
2 foot shorter, probably. I would like to be taller.
How tall are you now?
I thought I was 5'6", but they measured Ellen at that, and I think she's slightly taller than me now. So maybe I'm shrinking.
Bone shrinkage. Old age.
So about 5'5", maybe.
So you'd be 3'5".
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be that than like 7 foot something. Yeah.
3'5" is a bit of an inconvenience, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But so is 7 foot something. I mean, you'd have to duck all the time, wouldn't you? And you wouldn't find clothes to fit you, and at least you can buy kids' clothes.
3'5" people are having a whale of a time buying clothes. Lex wants to know if you'd rather always walk like a crab or have crab claws for hands.
Oh. Walk like a crab.
Walk like a crab. I found myself walking like a crab around Tesco's earlier on, trying to sidestep people, you know. So I reckon crab walking's fairly straightforward. Yeah. Do you remember the good old days when you went into a supermarket and you kind of progressed in an almost straight line up the aisle? Now it's all like, it's like one of those computer games when you go 2 squares forward and then you come across, then you go another square forward and then you come across this way.
Yeah. And it's so many people that want to be in that aisle at the same time that it's almost impossible.
Yeah. And I find myself being, I have to keep having a word with myself because I'm like, you've been looking at the sausages for 5 minutes. Other people want to look at the sausages. Could you just choose some fucking... And I'm not saying this out loud, obviously. I'm not actually going around molesting people in the supermarket about their sausage choices. But I'm finding myself getting really, like, having to have a word with myself and go, look, it doesn't matter. Let them... It's fine. Yeah. You'll just wait. You'll get sausages in a minute. They're not going to take all the sausages. It doesn't matter how long they take to choose. And then when I get there, I'm like, well, choose sausages quickly because you were a bit of an arse about them. So now I'm like randomly trying to choose really quick sausages.
Yeah.
It's the mental effect that this is having on me that's the problem.
Yeah, I stood waiting for a woman to choose what milk she wanted. And she was taking forever. And I was like way back. I was thinking, surely you know what milk you have. Come on.
You buy the same milk all the time, don't you? Don't choose milk.
I just walk past it and grab a milk. You know, I don't drink it, but I know what Nick drinks. And yeah, you
either buy green top, red top, blue top. Nobody buys blue top.
No, forever.
I don't even buy
She'd pick one up and then put it down. And
I think she was just having a day out.
I think she was. Yeah.
Lainey says, what would be your karaoke song? Do you do karaoke? Do you sing?
I'm not a very good singer, but I have sung karaoke. I've sung Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. I quite like that. It's a nice song to sing.
Yeah.
But also True by Spandau Ballet. When we had SingStar, that was my song.
Mine is, if I can get someone to do it with it, mine's a Meatloaf duet. Yeah. But there's very few people who can get together because I have to do the loaf part.
Was that a dead ringer?
I can never remember what the name of the track is, and yet I know it really well. But it's, I couldn't take it any longer. I was crazy when the feeling came upon me like a tidal wave. Started swearing to my God, now my mother's grave, that I would love you till the end of time. I swore I would love you till the end of time. So now I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and I can't remember the name of the track, and yet I know it so well.
Who sang it with him? Do you remember?
And if I had to spend another minute with you, I don't think that I could really survive, which is actually quite apt for a lot of people under the current circumstances, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't sound like Dead Ringer then. I can't think what it is.
I never break my promise or forget my vow, but God only knows that I can do it right now. I'm praying for the end of time. It's all that I can do. Praying for the end of time so I can end my time with you.
Someone is going to guess it in a minute. No,
somebody will know it. Yeah, I can never remember the bloody title.
Lisa said, "Yeah, Dead Ringer," but I don't think it is it? It doesn't sound like it.
Intelligence says, if you had to give up one of your senses, which one would it be?
Oh, that's hard.
So what we've got? You've got sight.
Yeah.
Sight, hearing, taste, touch. What's the fifth one? Oh, come on, there's 5.
Taste, touch. Oh, smell.
Smell. I could do
probably touch. Yeah. Touch.
I don't think I could give up touch.
But I don't think I could give up smelling or tasting something, and I definitely want to see and hear.
I think as well, smell and taste go together. I think if you lose your sense of smell, your taste. I seem to remember hearing this somewhere, that if you lose your sense of smell, you lose your sense of taste as well.
Yeah, so it's a double whammy, isn't it?
Yeah, couldn't give up sight. I mean, I always think it must be, obviously, if you are born sightless, it is not an easy life compared to sighted people, but at least it is all you have ever known, and therefore you do you the way you've always done you. But to lose your sight must be way beyond devastating into something I can't even contemplate. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And hearing would just be awful because I won't be able to hear music anymore. Yeah.
I could lose smell. I wouldn't like to lose taste, but I could give up smell. I mean, it would be inconvenient if the house is burning down, but it'd be fantastic when Buddy's farting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Nick's pointed out if you were 3'5", you'd been married to a dwarf.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. You have to shoot to the bottom of the chat, and I'll probably miss loads. Like Paradise by the Dashboard Light. That's what it was. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. You got to do what you can and let Mother Nature do that. I'm going to stop because it's a very long song. Oh, Shiv says if you give it a touch, you won't have to feel Nick's stubble.
Yeah, there you go.
And now I've clicked on it, that's going to stay there for ages because I can't find it to unclick. Okay. I really can't find that. It's just going to stay there until I can find it in a minute. There it is. Okay. Joan's got a question. She said, would you rather lose your top lip or your bottom lip?
Oh, how weird. What a strange question. Probably top lip because I don't like the way my bottom teeth look. There you go. Could make it work.
I'd have to keep my top lip because I don't like my top teeth. Oh. Yeah, so I could lose my bottom lip. I'd look like but I would, couldn't lose my top lip.
It looks like one of those cards you've got on.
Sea Reef says his or her. I'm never quite sure whether Sea Reef is male or female. I'm sorry, I probably should know. Mum was born without a sense of smell, but could still taste.
Yeah.
So maybe it's only if you lose one that the other one goes. Maybe if you're born without it, again, you don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Lex apparently asked a question and then says here it is. Nick has to shave off all body hair forever or grow it all really long. Which would you let him do?
Shave it off forever.
Just imagine him like a Wookiee. That'd be nicer because it's silky and soft.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Oh dear. I quite like the idea of that. I think I could get on board with a Wookiee boyfriend. Apparently, Steve says I sound exactly like Cartman off South Park when I'm singing. Thanks, Steve. Is that when I sing anything or only when I sing that song? It's certainly not intending to sound like Cartman. I'm a bit worried now.
Well, I didn't see the similarity myself. I think Steve's winding you up.
Shiv says they've been playing Don't Show Your Teeth. You know from Celebrity Juice, Don't Show Keith Your Teeth. We play that sometimes here. Have you ever played that?
No.
That's so much fun. Have you seen it played?
Yeah.
So honestly, we play it here sometimes if I've got friends around. That is always good fun.
Yeah.
And Karen says hairy backs. Bleh. Nick's not agreeing to either of the hair processes. Oh, and Lex also wants to ask the same question of Nick about you. You can either shave every hair on your body, remember that includes your head, or you can have long silky hair all over. Yeah,
I'd definitely shave. I'd just go bald. Yeah.
And we asked Nick whether he cares, or are you just making this decision without
well, I think he'd probably rather I be bald than really, really hairy. I don't know, maybe not.
Okay, Lynn Clapson is in, and she says she's lost her sense of smell, but she can taste. That's it. I would quite happily part with my sense of smell if I was going to be able to taste, but I wouldn't like to lose my sense of taste as well.
Yeah.
Joan says, Question: if you had to lose 3 fingers on each hand, which 3 would they be? Sorry, it's getting strange as I can't think of things to ask. Are we counting the
Well,
thumb?
I don't know. Hopefully this never happens, but probably on my left hand that I don't use as much as my right hand. Probably the last 3, because then at least you've got something to...
Yeah, you still want to be able to do pincer movements, don't you? Yeah.
Like a crab.
Which is a lot more difficult when you use the smaller thing. I mean, that one's not too bad. But yeah, I'd keep...
Yeah.
Actually,
that's not too bad.
And then when it comes to holding a pen with my other hand, again, I'm going to need my thumb. I don't hold my pen correctly anyway. I've always held my pen long. So I'm going to need this finger because this is the finger I could lose this one, although I do use that one a lot. That is my best finger. That's the one I refer to as my driving finger.
Yeah.
I don't think I can part with 3 fingers on this hand, but I'd probably lose all of this if necessary. Joe says, "Where would you wear your wedding ring if you part with all those 3?"
Yeah, I did think that when I looked, but just transfer it to the other hand, maybe.
Intelligent Zombie wants to know, if you were ruler of the world, what 3 things would you change and make everyone else have to do? Are we all going to be vegan?
Yes, all vegan. No war. Would have absolutely no war. And something to do with looking after the planet, like reducing.
I think the no war thing is going to be difficult unless you also bring in and everybody has to be nice.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're not allowed to have a war, all the nasty people are very quickly going to be in charge, aren't they?
Yeah. At least respectful. Yeah.
8 says he could cope as long as he had his thumb as index finger because he could still play darts.
Yeah.
See, when I played darts, I didn't hold them like that either. I held all 3 fingers along the shaft of the dart. I was probably doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I used to hit the board. Didn't hit any of the numbers, but I used to hit the board.
You could adapt, though, couldn't you?
We're going to come in with Dave for the final question.
Okay.
Who is the greatest clothing seller on YouTube?
Well, obviously it's Andrew, isn't it?
Obviously it is. Andrew, king of clothing. King of clothing, Andrew. He's not in, I don't think. Dave was just saying, is he here? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him come in tonight. So, so Andrew, king of clothing.
Yeah.
Has Andrew ever actually sold any clothing?
I have no idea.
Lex says she would cut off her fifth and 6th finger. Lex's hands look different to mine, but maybe that's a Welsh thing. Okay, it's been over an hour.
Yeah, that went quick.
Nick says, "Don't say that; it will quote you forever." I will be quoted as saying
I was obviously not being serious.
He won't quote that bit. He won't quote that bit at all. That'll be cut off from the quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just say thank you to everyone in the chat for all your wonderful questions. It's been a fun stream. Thank you so much to Andrea for being the Masked Reseller this evening, and for Nick for managing to stay out of the room and not come in and use a tape gun, which is a breakthrough, I think.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I'm not Lex.
Well, we can't all be Lex. Lex is pretty much using up all the Lex, I find. All the Lex available is being used up. Thank you for joining me, Andrew. It's been great fun. We'll say goodbye to the chat, and then I'll keep you there and say goodbye to you independently afterwards, so that we can see the chat. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Oh, my phone's ringing.
Oh,
it's Tammy. I'll cut her off. I can't cut off. Don't have to work my phone. I'll ring her back in a minute. Thank you so much to the chat for joining us. Thank you for all your wonderful questions. I'll be back Sunday night. Lex and I will be here Sunday. We're going to tie in. That's about before you go. Let's plug this. Nick and Andrea have decided that because they can't go to the 80s festival they were meant to go to this weekend, they're going to run an 80s reseller festival. So over to Andrea to tell you what's in the pipeline so far.
Yeah. So we've got over on our Facebook page. which is, I think it's just Nick and Andrea, on Nick and Andrea Hills, I think it is, on Facebook page. There's a big lineup. It tells you exactly what's happening this weekend. It's lots of YouTubers taking part, starting at 10:30 on Friday morning with Shelster Rooney, going all the way through to Monday evening. Lots of different YouTube live streams from various different people. We're raising money for the British Red Cross coronavirus response.
Excellent. So Lex and I will tie in somehow with our Sunday morning show. We'll do something 80s, although I don't know what. I've got a couple of days to think of something because everybody else has gone and bagged all the good ideas already. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to tune into all of these things over the weekend. Pop over to the Adventures in Reselling Facebook page.
I think it's just Nick and Andrea Hills now on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. Pop over to Nick and Andrea Hills on Facebook to find out what's going to be on where. Make sure you subscribe to all of the channels that are going to be doing stuff. Make sure you pop a donation into the box at some point over the weekend, or preferably every 10 minutes. Another donation. Keep them coming. Keep the money coming. And Lex says, can we do swap shop? Lex, we'll talk about it because God knows what you've got in mind. I could end up losing some really good stuff and ending up with some Welsh weirdness. Right, let's say goodbye to the chat again. Thank you so much for joining us, chat. We'll see you over the weekend with loads of good stuff. Take care and have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.
And then we wave awkwardly until